Hey, everybody. Here at the Big N Sports Network, we have been following all the information that we can about the Brandr Group's lawsuit against EA Sports with regards to the new college football video game that's supposed to come out in 2024. Well, today we got news that EA is not going to take this lying down, and they have struck back. Let's get right into the article. This is from On3, and as you can see, the title says EA Sports files a motion to dismiss the lawsuit against the college football video game. EA Sports has taken its swing back at the Brandr Group. In essence, they're striking right back. The video gaming brand filed a motion to dismiss the tortious interference lawsuit. Now, tortious interference lawsuit is basically Brandr Group is saying that EA is violating the contracts that the Brandr Group has with schools and athletes. They're going around them to negotiate and make deals with people that the Brandr Group is representing, and therefore EA Sports is violating the contracts that the Brandr Group has with the schools and the athletes. So EA is basically filing a motion to dismiss this lawsuit in the Northern District of California court on Monday. The Brandr Group initially sued Electronic Arts in June, arguing that EA attempted to retain players' rights while evading the company, just like what I said. While the Brandr Group does have group licensing contracts with more than 54 Division I institutions, the agreements with athletes are non-exclusive, and that's really important. The athletes may have those contracts with the Brandr Group to help them get NILs, but they're not exclusive, and that's the key. In its argument for the lawsuit to be dismissed, EA states Brandr Group's contracts still grant athletes the right to their licenses. When the court denied the Brandr Group's temporary restraining order in June, Judge Haywood Gilliam also outlined the likelihood of success on merits in its lawsuit. Gilliam noted at the time that even if athletes' intellectual property and name, image, and likeness are used in the game, the rights are not licensed together nor contingent on one another. Brandr's tortious interference claim fails because by the template's terms, student athletes retain the right to individually license their NIL. And that, folks, is probably why EA is going to win this lawsuit. And this is why EA stated in its motion to dismiss the lawsuit. I think right there you're starting to see where EA is probably going to win this lawsuit. Talking with Sam Ehrlich, who we mentioned in a previous video, had been consulted about the lawsuit and about the injunction request. I had reached out to him. I'm going to have a video about that as well with regards to editing of players and his thoughts on that. But he had mentioned in the email to me that he felt that EA's case was extremely strong, especially when it came to the injunction. And so right here, you're seeing how what EA is saying and how they're saying what the Brandr Group is saying is total BS, because everything is non-exclusive with the Brandr Group, and the athletes are retaining their right to individually license it. An in-person hearing has been scheduled for 2 p.m. Pacific time, October 19th. The case management conference has been set for September 26th, but Gilliam has moved the call to August 15th. The meeting could set the date for a hearing or be the place where a resolution is announced. In its first response since the Brandr Group first filed a lawsuit in June, EA described the licensing company's efforts as nonsensical. Even if the student athletes' licenses to EA were inaccurately characterized as a group license, Brandr would still fail to state a tortious interference claim because its complaint concedes that EA is separately licensing school IP from the collegiate licensing company, not bundling together those rights with student athletes' NILs, EA stated in court documents. And this is why. You're seeing why here. Hey, we're doing it with the collegiate licensing company, so your whole argument is nonsensical. It's baseless. EA Sports argues Brandr Group is not needed in negotiations. This whole issue has stemmed from the fact that EA Sports contracted one team partners in June to facilitate college athletes' likeness. Details of the agreement are still murky. One source indicated to On3 that the cash pool for athletes was in the $5 million neighborhood, which would pay out to $500 per player. Athletes will reportedly not make royalties off the game either. A competitor in the college licensing realm, the One Team and the Brandr Group were previously doing business together. One Team invested in a minority stake in TBG, that's the Brandr Group, in April 2021. In documents filed Monday, EA outlined its plan to ink contracts with institutions with and through the collegiate licensing company, the CLC. EA argues the Brandr Group does not need to be consulted in negotiations. This will be the first EA college football game since 2013. It will also be the first video game that FBS athletes have been allowed to benefit from their NIL. The last time the EA Sports video game hit the shelves in 2013, roughly 1.5 million copies were sold. The complaint will not impact our development timelines, EA told The Athletic last month. The game is on track and is a priority for EA Sports. So, basically, right here, EA is basically, and this is articles by Pete Nakos. I hope I'm saying it, Nakos. Hopefully I'm saying it right. You can see there his Twitter account, which is now x.com. Great article here, just kind of laying out what it is that EA is saying, why EA is going for this dismissal of the lawsuit. And I'll be honest, I think they're going to win it. Okay, everything that they're saying right there is pretty much kind of the feeling I got from Professor Ehrlich of Boise State, who teaches, law with regards to sports and these types of things. And he had mentioned that in our conversation that he felt EA's case was pretty strong. So I think that EA, this is going to be dismissed. EA obviously has the strength. The Brandr Group is coming from a place of weakness. I think this is just a desperate ploy to try and keep themselves involved. The Brandr Group has been a very big proponent of the athletes not getting enough money with regards to the NIL and this video game. And so I kind of think the Brandr Group is trying to do this lawsuit so then they can go to their players, they lose, and they go, well, now, see, this is what EA's trying to do, this, and this. I almost think it's like a ploy just to make, maybe to try and sneak it in to be part of the, I don't know what it was, because everything that I'm seeing right here, it's just a weak case. Like things that they're saying, like, hey, you're taking away our right to contract on behalf of our clients. Well, actually, no, that's not even what you're even saying that that's not what's happening, especially when it comes to the schools. So I don't know what the plan was for Brandr Group with regards to, did they think that EA was just going to take it and walk away and be like, hey, sure, well, cool, we'll involve you in it? I don't know. But again, it's getting pretty exciting. Again, the hearing has been scheduled for October 19th. There's a case management conference set for September 26th, so we may find out the results of this by October. I really do think EA Sports is going to win this thing. I think the case will be dismissed, and then we just have to wait and see if all the schools get in. That's going to be the key, is the school involved, or all schools involved through the CLC. And we won't know what the players' compensation will be until spring of 2024. That's because EA has to wait for all the players who are transferring, because they have to do the rosters. You're going to have new recruits. You're going to have the transfers. You're going to see who's left for 2024. So we won't know what the compensation is till spring. But here at Big Game Sports Network, we're going to keep on top of this. Here on this channel, we also do NCAA Football 14 streams. We have Cupcake Academy Cupcakes, a team builder team that we're building from 11 overall into a national champion up on the channel. We're going to have other videos going up on the channel as well. Been doing dynasties over on Twitch, and then I've been needing to post them here on YouTube. But make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're enjoying this type of content. We're going to keep following this story because I think it's really important to understand what is going on in context of everything. Again, I have a video in which I discuss the conversation that I had with Professor Ehrlich. I actually reached out to another attorney who deals with video game law. We're going to talk about editing of players, because I see a lot of people talking about when the new game comes out, if not all players are in and it's got to be a generic roster, that they're just going to edit players. And I have questions. Would EA be liable if the rosters are editable and people put players in the game without them being fairly compensated? So look for that new video. That's going to be coming out as well here on YouTube. Again, appreciate everybody who's come in. You guys have a good rest of the day. This is looking great for EA College Football, folks. I think EA is going to win the case, and we're going to have our game in the summer of 2024. Means I got to get myself a new video game console. I'm looking forward to it. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you on the next Big In Sports Network show.